The great thing about building monuments is they still give culture even when they're obsolete, so there's no point in not building them, even if they're going to go obsolete in a relatively short amount of time. The Apostolic Palace elections are up again, and I will be voting for myself. Naturally. Okay, now we are down to 44% on the defenses. Can make a significant amount of money. I gotta check this out once. Yeah, I can actually use water tiles. I really should have built a lighthouse in Bremen earlier. And Salzburg is healthy once again, thanks to the aqueduct that I built. And we're gonna build a Christian temple in Syracuse for the additional production. It just occurred to me I should have built a lighthouse in Constantinople. The leading candidate is Louis. Oh, that is bad news for me. I voted for myself. Peter voted for me. He only had 14 votes, though. The Chinese voted for Louis. Louis voted for Louis. Isabel, Louis. Yeah, okay. Louis is definitely looking like my main competitor right now, which means he's probably going to have to go. After Justinian, I'll probably be focusing on Louis. It's taking a while to bombard those defenses down, though. But we have a lot of cavalry, so they're continuing to stockpile units. Oh, this city is never happy, is it? Is the Versailles? Yeah, it's actually a world wonder. I should probably build that in Rome. It looks like Justinian. Somebody has built a privateer already, which is going to be a problem for me because they're going to harass my land. Montemus has declared. Okay, everybody's declaring war on. Well, I shouldn't say everybody. Saladin has declared war on the Indian Empire. Okay, Athens is down to 4%. I've got to take a look at this. I need ships, and chemistry is the fastest way to get ships. But unfortunately, I'm also going to need astronomy, which requires optics and calendar. I have both of them. But it's going to take an additional 11 turns before I can actually act on defending my lands from this privateer right here. So this is not an actual barbarian. It is a civilization that has built a privateer ship to harass other people's stuff. And as you can see here, Rome is actually quite focused on a water economy, using a lot of the water tiles. So that's not going to be good for me if somebody starts blockading it with their privateers. The Chinese will trade astronomy. I wonder what he wants for it. I only have military tradition. He has a shit ton of technologies that I don't have. What do you want for this? He wants military tradition, and he'll give me drama and 280 gold. I'll have to think about it. Genghis Khan has been captured by the Chinese Empire, so China's might grows. China is a pretty significant player. They're right underneath the French in terms of my competition. I'm going to bombard with the catapults. That's reduced the defenses of Athens to 0. And now I can start attacking. Not good odds there, but some sacrifices must be made. A lot of bad odds, actually. That one, and that one withdrew. Okay, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. About 9 different units in here defending. What are our odds? Pretty damn decent, actually. So, right now, we're winning. All of these odds are very good, 90% or higher. And that was 99%. My promotions are definitely coming in handy here. And there is a catapult left. I'm not going to be able to capture it on this turn, though. Oh, come on. 77% odds. I guess they figured it was time for him to get a win in. So I like only attacking on 90% odds or higher. The loss rate is much lower. In my experience, anyway. I mean, it should be fair, but sometimes you just can't trust the computer not to cheat on those numbers. So next turn, we definitely should have Athens, and then I'm going to see if I can get Justinian to capitulate. Yeah, there are a lot of spies in my land, unfortunately. And now he actually came to me seeking military tradition. So I'm going to accept this time because he lowered the amount of gold to 230. So, yeah. Now we have astronomy. And this means that once I finish chemistry in 1 turn, I can begin building frigates to protect my waters here. from any privateers. As you can see, this privateer is blocking off the Athens Peninsula. What is this piece of land called? I forget. But they're blockading it, which means that Justinian cannot work it, except for the fact that the frigate actually belongs, the privateer actually belongs to Justinian, so he's working those tiles just fine, as evidenced by the little fishing boats that the city places in the tiles when it's working them. Okay, time to take Athens once and for all. We are done messing around. It took long enough. And there we go, another one of Justinian's capitals. Now let's take a look at what's in the city. The Parathon is in here. The Pantheon, actually. Isn't that the Pantheon? Yeah, we have one wonder in there. So install new governor, and let's talk to good old Justinian and see what if, yeah, he will capitulate now. So let's bury it. What is the price of peace? He will also give me a city. Where is it? He would give me this city right here. I'm not exactly sure I want that city, but, it would help me. No, I don't want that. Yeah, so we're going to make peace with him. What is the price of peace? Instead of giving me a city, can you give me technology instead? Just give me all the technologies, actually. And then get rid of the gold and the world map and the gold per turn. Let's see. I mean, this is... No, he won't. He will not give me his technologies. Okay. He probably really likes constitutions, so I'm going to make him this offer. He will accept it. He is now a vassal of mine. He has 28% of my land. He could break free at 50%. He has 25% of my population, and he could also break free at 50%. So far he is kept well in check. And so that adds an additional civilization to my massive empire. And Justinian has declared war on Genghis Khan. Yeah, so as you can see here, now I control... I mean, technically, they're like puppet states now. So both Russia and Byzantium have no choice but to follow my lead. So if I decide to go to war with France or England, they're going to assist me in that endeavor. So I really like this mechanic that they added in Warlords, the Civilization 4. It means that you don't actually have to wipe out the entire civilization, which I find very useful in my own little conquests here. And also, it doesn't break up the world as much. So you don't have a massive empire of one civilization all over the map. I really do like the aesthetics more of having a lot of these other civilizations around. They're just not in the competition anymore, so to speak, but they're still around. It keeps things from getting a little bit lonely around the map, I guess you could say. So chemistry is going to be completed within the turn, and you can tell on the unit command bar for the option to upgrade this unit type. You'll see it costs 80 gold to upgrade this cuirassier to a cavalry. But we have multiple cuirassiers, and we'd like to upgrade them all. So what we can do is hold down ALT, mouse over it again, and you'll see the price has increased to 1,120 gold. Now, I'm not sure this will actually cover all of my cuirassiers and upgrade them to cavalry, because I don't have enough to go a unit beyond that, but it will upgrade as many as possible. Okay, actually, I think it did upgrade all of them, because we have 143 gold left. So you can take a look here in the military advisor. We want to filter by unit type, I think. No, we want to filter by combat type. So as you can see here, we have combat type, and then we want to filter by unit type. There we go. So if we have them filtered by combat type first, it'll break them up into separate groups based on the combat type. For example, here you have naval units, gunpowder, siege, and then the unit type will break them up into the individual unit types, such as longbowman versus crossbowman. And as you can see here, we have 21 cavalry, so I did manage to upgrade all of them. That's good. We are almost broke, though, 143 gold left, and I did notice that Louis actually has riflemen now, so any attempts to fight him is going to be a bit difficult because of that. Thankfully, the French Empire is not protective, so they don't have the additional benefits of that. They don't have the extra defensive boost to all their gunpowder units. Now, it's about time that I actually adopted a new civic for economy. I've been running on decentralization for a long time now, and I can now get free market, which means, it's basically a net positive. It's an additional trade route per city. And let me see here. Let's go to my capital. As you can see right now, we have 2 trade routes per city. and they generate quite a bit. So, for example, in Rome, 2 trade routes per city right now. Each of them are generating 5 gold for trading with China. And likely, if we get an additional trade route, it will be either 4 or 5 gold as well. And that is for pretty much every city we're going to get that additional trade route. So we're going to actually net a lot of additional gold for doing this, which will make up in a short amount of time for the period of anarchy that we're going to experience. And I also think slavery is useful, but then once you start getting buildings that take longer to construct, they require more hammers, or you have units that require more hammers to construct, the usefulness of it goes down significantly. So I'm not sure what I want to do about that. Bureaucracy would be great if I moved my capital to Rome, but in its current location, it is not that great of an idea because it increases the productivity of that city and the gold produced in it by 50%. But since my current capital of Bremen is not all that productive in terms of gold and hammers, it's not going to really work out too well for us. I think what we might want to do is adopt the caste system. And this will give us an additional hammer from workshops, which means that we can start building workshops in preparation to jump to communism. Because communism doesn't really, it's state property, they call it, same thing. Requires the communism tech. There really aren't any downsides to this, except for the fact that the corporations will not, you can't control any corporations. Yeah, that's a downside, but never really. We're definitely going to adopt those two. So yeah, caste system plus free market. Let's take a look here. Oh, our trade routes are gone. We'll see next turn. Ribe has defected to our civilization. Fishing boats was destroyed. Bastards. Anything else so dire important you have to play loud and obnoxious sound effects before telling me about it? Okay, good. We're done with that. Anyway, Ribe was originally owned by the Viking Empire. Then the Spanish rode their horses all the way over here, captured it, and then they were occupying it. And now my culture has overwhelmed it. Now you'll see that in Bremen, it's only 51% Holy Roman. Once the French get over 50%, then there is a chance for the city to riot. What do they call it? It's a chance for it to flip to the other civilization. However, that will not happen as long as it's your capital. So as long as Bremen remains my capital, that city cannot flip to Louis's empire of France. And we're going to set Rome for something else. Here we go. We got our 3rd trade route. It was for 4 gold. It's much better than no gold. And I think it is well worth the extra turn of anarchy. Can build an observatory now. Or a customs house. Both of them are good. We're not at war at the moment, but that should change pretty soon. I think we should start gearing up for war with Louis, which means I should decrease my research rate so I can get some more gold here. And then I can start upgrading all my units. I think Louis will be the next one I'll invade. Because, the objective here was to take over Europe. And Louis. He is in my way. I guess we could do Spain instead. At the risk... No, they actually have rifling now. Okay, we should probably take a look at the technologies and see who wants what. I might be able to strike a deal here. Actually, Isabel does not have any technology. Yeah, she's outstripping me in terms of technologies. But Elizabeth does not have rifling yet, so we might be able to get a technology out of her, because always Louis and Isabel are just going to trade it to her anyway. 3,600. Oh, let's see what do you give us for it? A Constitution and 70 gold. 3,000. It's a tricky one. What does the Constitution do? Jail, emancipation. It's really not that great of a technology, to be honest. It leads to democracy, and democracy is not going to help us pretty much at all. I'll think about that one. I think she is researching rifling at the moment. So we're just going to have to beat her with superior numbers. It is a shame, though, to declare war on Spain because they're friendly towards me, actually. The thing is, if I declare war on Spain, Louis is only going to get further ahead. But who does Louis... Does Isabel have signed pacts with anybody? Actually, a lot of the defensive pacts that were signed before have been canceled. Elizabeth no longer has any. Louis no longer has any. So yeah, we can pretty much declare We're going to suffer a diplomatic penalty with China for it. He has silk. We have copper. Let's see if you trade. You also give me 7 gold per turn for it. Better that than letting it sit in my stores. Wow, it's going to cost a lot of gold to upgrade all my units. You might not actually have time to do a lot of upgrading. We can start a golden age. Do we have the mausoleum? No, I don't think so. If we have the mausoleum, it'd be worth doing a golden age because we'd get 50% more out of the golden age. Who has the mausoleum? Oh, we do have the mausoleum. Wait, go back. Mausoleum. It's in Novgorod. Okay. Yeah, I was going to save this great scientist to found the corporation, but if we're going the state property route, we should just start a golden age now. So we'll get 12 turns of that. I should have done this before switching civics, because during a golden age, you can change civics without any anarchy. So that was a mistake. I'm not declaring war on the Indian Empire. Okay, this is pretty good. We can start building workshops now. We're going to get a lot of hammers off of them if we do. And we can also take care of this pirateer, what is it? It's a privateer pest messing about in the Mediterranean. So if we're going to start planning our assault on France, I think we should hit Paris first. All right, we can do this. And what technology should we go for next? I mean, steel would be good because we'd get cannons. But steam power will reveal coal and move us one step closer to infantry. If we do military science, we can better counter Louis' riflemen. But I don't think we'll have that in time for the war. So we're probably not going to do that. If we go for scientific method, we will see where our oil is. And that leads to physics and communism, which is important if we want to get state property. So that's a good question. Which one do we go for? I think we're going to go for steam power. I think the faster we can get to our unique unit, the better. Oh, we already have our unique unit. Okay. Yeah, I forgot about that. Physics would be good, but a lot of the incentive to discover it's gone now that Louis has already discovered it. I think we're going to go with military science, after all. There are a few things here that are useful. And I'm going to start upgrading units here. 200 gold for that rifleman. What is Louis researching right now? He's currently researching steel in 11 turns. In 11 turns, he'll have cannons, which is not good news for me. I probably should actually start mobilizing my force right now. We got 30 happiness in here to 19. We can withdraw 11 troops. So what are they going to be? Let's grab all the cavalry. See, the advantage to striking Marcel's first is that he will not be able to get at Rome. I don't think. He's weak. Come on, what am I'm overthinking this. If we look at power, I am significantly above Louis. I should not have too much to worry about here. And anybody who's experienced with the game is probably cringing at the incredible amount of waffle that they're having to put up with listening to. And they probably won't listen at all. I think we're just going to go with the cavalry here. And move them into position. So we're going heavy on cavalry. Probably not a good idea because he has riflemen, and riflemen get a bonus against cavalry. They have a 25 bonus against them. So Justinian will give me the constitution for military tradition. He is my vassal, so I'm going to accept that. Of course, he can trade that technology off to anybody he wants, but in our case, I think it's not going... I don't think he's going to do any harm by trading it off. So let's go back to the bargaining table and see what people can trade. They'll trade scientific method. What do they want? Most of the ones that can trade scientific method don't want anything. Elizabeth wants rifling. And Isabel wants chemistry. So I think we're going to trade. Let's see. Will this work? What will you give me for this? Only 100. She will not even consider. What would make this deal work? Okay, she will not consider giving me that tech. How about the Chinese Empire? You will give me liberalism. Okay, fair enough. We're going to trade that tech off to you.
Any society that would give up a little liberty,
we actually needed liberalism to research communism.
And lose both.
I did not know that. Let me take a look at this here again. Oh yeah, communism does require liberalism. Okay, because I was thinking that was an attack I could avoid if I was just mostly useless if you don't get it to it first.